As someone who's traveled the world, what's your one piece of advice for me on my trip across the country?
If you see a thing that you want to check out, even if it's not on your itinerary, even if you think you don't have time, just stop and see it. Stop and do it. Talk to the people. Just be there in the moment. Because otherwise it's just about getting from point A to point B, which, sometimes that's the goal. I don't think that's the goal here. I mean, it is, because, you've got to get from point A here to point B on the other side of the country.
Ladybug.
You can't see it, but just off in the distance is the sign for US Route 20 to Boston, 3,365 miles. I'm about to get on that thing and go to, Boston, 3,365 miles. Boston is my home city. I grew up just south of Boston, and I spent many of my formative years in and around the city, including going to college, having my first apartment with Ladybug. All kinds of stuff happened in Boston, and that's kind of why I want to go back. I've never actually ridden a motorcycle in the city of Boston. Let's go give it a shot. We do have a few other cities to go through before we get there. The first time I saw this sign, I was in a car. It was many years ago, and I'm driving down is this Route 101 or whatever it is? I don't know. And I saw that sign, and it said Boston, Mass, 3,365 miles, and I said to myself, someday I'm going to do that ride. I wasn't thinking I was going to do it on a motorcycle. I was thinking I was going to do it in a car. But things change. And people get motorcycles. I don't know. Okay, not the most profound words to start this trip, but there it is, Route 20. Off we go. I've got almost exactly 5.5 hours of riding time today to get from Newport to Burns, Oregon. 5.5 hours of riding time for me probably means closer to 7.5 hours, because, first of all, I'm in no rush. I've got nowhere else to be except in Burns, Oregon. I've got a motel booked, and man, the weather's beautiful. It's a little windy, but I couldn't ask for a more perfect riding day. I couldn't ask for a more perfect bike to ride on. And I couldn't ask for a more perfect journey to embark on, so off we go. Boston or bust. So I grew up in a suburb of Boston called Norwood, Massachusetts. It's just south of Boston by a suburb or two, and, it wasn't the most exciting place in the world to grow up, but it was fine. We had public transportation that could get you into the city if you really wanted to. We had a little airport, we had nice schools, and we had something called the Auto Mile, which is about 6 miles of car dealerships, pretty much all owned by the same people. It's a little weird if you really think about it. When I was in high school, I was in the band. Yeah, I was a bandy. I was a drummer, a percussionist. I played snare in the marching band, and I played drum set for our award-winning jazz ensemble. I was pretty good. I wasn't great, but the band was fantastic. We won, all kinds of championships. I don't know what's going on here with the Popo. Hello, Popo. Anyway, when I graduated high school, I moved to Boston to go to Emerson College, where I studied journalism. And that was a grand old time. I spent most of my time running the student newspaper. I was editor-in-chief for a year or so, and all kinds of other jobs at that paper, and I ate, slept, and breathed the college newspaper. And pretty much my only friends from college were a result of that. After college, I left Boston for a short bit. I moved to New Hampshire and worked as a newspaper reporter for a daily newspaper in Laconia. And then I was hired to run a newspaper in Farmington, Maine. Dear God, one morning I woke up, it was negative 28 degrees, and I said, huh, I don't think I was built for this. Anyway, long story short, I moved back to Massachusetts and was working in a town called Billerica, which is north of Boston, and I was living in Lowell. I was running a newspaper there for a couple of years, and it burnt me out pretty hard. It's a lot of work to run a newspaper. And I was the youngest editor on staff at that point. About that time, Ladybug and I decided to shack up. Don't tell her mother. And we got an apartment just outside of Kenmore Square, right next to Fenway Park. And that was our first apartment together, and it was glorious. And I had a lot of amazing times in and around Kenmore Square. Kenmore Square for me was sort of the cultural hub of Boston. There was a rock club or two there, there was a deli house. I went to New England School of Photography, which was located in Kenmore Square. I saw the Boston Red Sox play there many, many times. And there's something drawing me there right now. And that's why Route 20 from Newport to Boston is so important. Route 20 ends in Kenmore Square. And I can't wait to see the sign. There's another sign on the other side of this route that says, I believe, Newport, Oregon, 3,365 miles. How cool is that? Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little background and sort of let you in on why this trip is more important to me than I may have let on. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't have any expectations. I just want to enjoy myself. I'm really glad to be on the Himalayan because the Himalayan doesn't encourage me to go fast. It encourages me to slow down, catch my breath, and just enjoy poodling along. That's what I'm doing. And so far, I'm 10 minutes into the trip and I have no need for anything else. Well, actually, I think I'm going to need some gas pretty damn soon. Other than that, I'm a happy bug. I saw a comment this morning on my last video where someone was saying that they're unsubscribing from my channel because I pulled a bait and switch because I took the Himalayan instead of the Moto Guzzi, and I've been talking about taking the Moto Guzzi for so long. That's kind of a bummer to hear because I never wanted this channel to be about the bike. I wanted it to be about the passion I have for riding motorcycles and about journeys and about the things that we learn when we go on these journeys. You know, I've said in the past that this trip wasn't about finding myself or anything like that, and it's really not. But it is an opportunity to sort of think about your life and about the world and all that stuff. And like I said earlier, maybe gain a little perspective. And while I'm sorry to see anyone unsubscribe from my channel, if you're really here just because of the bike that I'm riding, then I think we're on different wavelengths. And as Ladybug said this morning, this isn't an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. You can click the unsubscribe button. It doesn't require any ceremony or comment. Just, you know, go live your life. I'm living my life. There's a bunch of people here that want to share this journey. Not just this journey, but the journey through motorcycling. The journey and the passion of being on two wheels. Anyway, I know part of it's my fault because I do talk about bikes a lot when I'm making my videos because I'm truly passionate not only about motorcycling, but about motorcycles as machines, as pieces of art, as these functional, beautiful collections of metal and plastic and rubber that can propel you across an entire continent. Yeah, I got some passion for motorcycles, but I hope that this channel is more than that. Anyway, it's not an airport. I got such a kick out of that when Ladybug said that this morning after reading through the comments. I married a good one there. I was at another one of these historical landmark type things a while back, about half an hour ago, and I'm pulling out, and this guy comes whizzing by me on a beautiful Royal Enfield, and it was just, it sounded sweet, and he looked all dapper, and I'm like, what am I doing? Anyway, a little ways down the road, he starts doing this, like, pull over, and I'm like, all right, who is this freak, and what did I do? Well, it turns out it wasn't a freak at all. It was a gentleman I know by the name of Mark, a fellow Royal Enfield enthusiast who knows me from, I believe, YouTube. I'm not really sure where we even started talking. Anyway, we pulled over, had a nice chat, and I don't know, it just kind of reminded me that it's kind of nice to slow down and talk to people and, you know, be on a journey and not on a road trip. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm going to make sense out of all of this at some point. For now, I'm about 2 hours or so away from Burns, Oregon, where I'll be spending the evening. I think it's time to hit this final stretch, because I'm starting to get a little tired and I could use dinner. Mr. Happy and I just stopped and had a muffin a little while ago. But I don't think that's going to hold either one of us over, so. Burns, 1 hour and 39 minutes. Let's go. I gotta tell you, I've only been at this for officially a day now. I'm having the best frickin' time. I don't know if it's because this bike is so relaxing to ride, or if it's because I've already done this sort of trip once, and so I'm not as nervous at all about things going wrong, or how is this gonna go, and all that stuff. I don't know. But I'm, like, relaxed as a Hindu cow, and, well, I'm feeling it. I mean, how could you not? Look at how beautiful this is. This isn't even the beautiful part, I don't think. This is just, I don't know, Central Oregon, or whatever we're in. Are we in Eastern Oregon yet? I don't know. I said the theme of this trip was going to be gaining perspective. And if I had to identify what perspective I gained today, I gotta be honest. I've said 1,000 times I don't get lonely. But I was feeling a little bit like, wow, I'm not going to see Ladybug for another 2 weeks, and then we're not going to see each other for another 3 or 4 weeks, or whatever that is. That's a long time to be away from your best friend. And so I'm going to take every opportunity to make some new friends and meet existing friends along this trip. Just to sort of check in and see how everyone's doing. I got this one special thing that I'm going to try to speed up my schedule for a little bit, because I need to get to a certain place on Friday to make this happen. I originally planned to be there on Saturday. So I'm going to sit down tonight, plot a course. Well, I know what the course is going to be. But I'm going to look at my stopping intervals and see if I can sort of trim a day off, because I really think it'd be worth it. Stay tuned for that. What an amazing day. I mean, it wasn't exciting in the traditional sense, but the riding was great, the motorcycle was great. I'm feeling really good, and this is where I want to be. I'm about, I don't know, 20 miles or so away from where I'm gonna be resting my head tonight. And I'm already feeling that feeling that you get at the end of the day when you don't really want to get off the bike. You just kind of want to keep going. Like, it's almost disappointing that I'm getting to where I'm trying to get to. But it just means that I get to tuck the bike away for the night and prepare for a whole new day of riding. I know I've said this kind of thing before, but I'm going to say it again because I think it's important. If you have yourself a motorcycle, a little bit of money, and some time, you really need to get out and do this. It's so worth it. It brings life back to your body and your mind. It's just, I don't know, traveling. It's like nothing else. Anyway, enough philosophizing. I'll catch you on the next one.